What's up, social media? Welcome back to another episode of VGC Prep. Today's episode is yet another PDL battle, and today we are battling against at Diego de VGC. Now, I actually only have 2 of the matches saved, and that's because if I remember correctly, at the very end of the first match, it DC'd. However, it was very, very obvious that Diego was going to win that, so I just gave him the win for that. So basically, long story short, he actually only brought these 4 that you see right here. Charizard, which has to be Charizard Y, Greninja, Nidoking, Gyarados, and I'm partially to blame for that because, I guess we just didn't explain it to him well enough how this league works, and he actually only has those 4 from his team. So unfortunately, I guess there was just a bit of miscommunication between us, but he's been doing pretty well regardless of that bit of a handicap, so I don't know. So he came in, and I'll just recap the first match for you guys. Basically, since I knew he only had 4 Pokemon, picking was going to be pretty easy for me, because I brought 6, of course. You know, and we had started the battle, and he disconnected, and I was like, hey, are you sure you want 4 Pokemon? You know, like, you can go grab whatever you want, you know, I don't care, you know, we didn't see each other's teams yet. And he said he wanted to keep with it, and then he didn't tell me about not knowing the other Pokemon until like much later after the battle. So don't, like, you know, attack me for giving him a handicap. He agreed with it and said it was cool. So, you know, I knew basically that every single battle he's going to be bringing these 4. So honestly, I took the first game as more of a scout game kind of thing. Not to put down his win, because he did actually play really well. There's a lot of things he did that I honestly had no idea was going to be coming. So in general, like, you know, it was a really good match, but I got a lot of information from that match, so I was able to, like, really decide, okay, who am I really going to bring to the second battle? Because, you know, I believe I had started off with Mawile in the first battle, and honestly, just looking at that matchup, Mawile is pretty terrible. Mawile can't really do much. You've got the Intimidate, you've got the Charizard Y, you've got Nidoking. All of them outspeed me, and if I can't get Trick Room up, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do. So that gave me a really good idea. It's like, you know what, instead of bringing Mawile, why don't we bring Dragalge while I still have that problem against Nidoking? Excuse me. You know, I can cover the other 3 a little bit better. So that's basically what I did. I went into the second match. I let off with Dragalge and Mesprit because I was like, you know what, he's got those 2 under Trick Room hits his entire team super effectively. So I think that's going to be the best play for me. So let's get into this first battle, or second battle rather, and we'll see what happens here. So, you know, I had found out by the end of the first battle that his Nidoking was Assault Vest. I had also found out that his Charizard, well, no, not his Charizard, his Greninja was Life Orb, but we also knew that his Nidoking was Physical. So basically, this first turn, I predicted him to go for Earthquake. He hadn't shown it yet in the first battle, but I figured he was going to go for it because, you know, he either has Earth Power or Earthquake, and since he was Physical, he's going to be going for Earthquake, and he only showed Poison Jab and Fire Punch, so I figured, okay, yeah, he's really not going to be going for either of those 2, because neither of those 2 attacks is really going to do anything. So I brought in Electros, and I actually, since we knew he had Assault Vest, I actually just went for knockoff on Nidoking here, so my Mesprit can take it out with Psychic, because honestly, Nidoking at this point was the scariest threat on the team against me right now, because, you know, it could have Crunch, it can't Mega Evolve, obviously, but it can do a bunch of different things. So in comes Greninja, and I decided, you know, I'm just gonna Wild Charge the Gyarados and go for Dazzling Gleam here. If I don't pick up the KO with Wild Charge, I will definitely pick up the KO with Dazzling Gleam and hopefully take out the Greninja. But since I take out the Gyarados, I was pretty confident in taking out the Greninja, but I don't, and I actually don't really remember what I run on this Mesprit. I don't know the exact EV spread that I run, so I can't really recall if that should have KO'd or not, or if it was a min roll, I don't know. But either way, it didn't really matter because he got the Ice Beam off and it didn't take me out or freeze me, so it really wasn't a big deal. Now, he actually forgot to Mega Evolve his Charizard here, and had the Charizard survived, and he somehow ended up winning, he would have actually lost that battle because he did not Mega Evolve his Charizard. And that's very unfortunate. You don't want to go down to a clause like that, and it's not fun for you, it's not fun for your opponent, because if I get a win, I want to win legit, you know. So that was the first battle. I think that was pretty awesome second battle for me. I was very happy with how that turned out. So going into the second battle, you know, the tried and true method of Dragalge and Mesprit worked really well, so I'm just going to continue on with that. There's no reason for me not to keep going with that. It just worked, it has the perfect coverage, and so on and so forth. So he actually starts off with Nidoking and Greninja. Now, I kind of figured Greninja and Nidoking, if they doubled into Mesprit, they wouldn't really be able to take me out in like one shot. I'm not too confident in Mesprit's bulk, but I figured with the Citrus Berry that I carry, I do believe I carry, yes, I'd be able to, so that's kind of what I went for. And I kept in Dragalge, because I figured he'd either predict me to switch out, or he just wouldn't go for Earthquake, because if he goes for Earthquake, that means he has to protect with Greninja, which means Trick Room definitely goes up, which means he's definitely going to try and get rid of Trick Room here. I go for Hydro Pump on the Nidoking to get some good damage, and I actually go for Sludge Bomb on the Greninja, and it doesn't take it out. And I'm sitting here like, how? How does that not take it out? I must not be running max special attack, because that definitely should have taken it out. And if I am, that just goes to show that Dragalge is just, ugh. Maybe there's a way to run it. You know, I am running, I think, a Life Orb. Maybe you really do need choice specs. I don't necessarily like choice specs in VGC. I don't really like choice moves in general in VGC. There's only a couple of Pokemon that really do benefit from that, and like, you know, one of them is Talonflame, because it really only needs to spam Brave Bird. So in comes Charizard and Gyarados, and you know, I'm kind of hoping, basically my thought process here is I'm going to go for the Wild Charge on Charizard and the Thunderbolt on to the Gyarados, I do believe. I might have swapped that around because, you know, my Electros... No, I didn't. Okay, I don't know why I did that. Now that I'm looking back at that, what I really should have done was Thunderbolted the Charizard and Wild Charged the Gyarados. But I guess it didn't really matter here because my thought process behind that is I was at negative... Oh my god, I just realized. Never mind. I take that all back. When the Gyarados came in, there was no Intimidate, which I had not noticed until this battle, which is why I was hesitant to start off with the Electros, because I did not want that -1. I really did not notice that. I am kind of freaking out right now that I just noticed that. Yeah, okay. So I realized that at this point in the battle. Basically, the whole thought process between Thunderbolting the Gyarados and Wild Charging the Charizard is because the Thunderbolt on Dragalge is significantly weaker than the Wild Charge on Electros. The base power differences, the fact that Gyarados is more physically bulky and Charizard is more specially bulky, made it so that I'd rather do that instead of that. And that ended up turning out pretty well for me. He goes for the Protect. I think he was hoping for the last turn Trick Room to come out, but unfortunately it did not. So I did end up pulling through with the victory there. So it was a 2-1 victory. I like to say that, like, if I lose one battle, you guys can see this from my current record. If I lose one battle, I will make sure to win the second battle because I don't want to get no win for that round. I want to get at least one win per round, and that's what I've been doing. Right now, I have probably the least amount of battles, but I have one of the highest differentials because I do tend to keep winning the second or third battle, or well, it would have to be the first or second battle. I at least win one of the battles, so my differential doesn't go down nearly as much. In the battle against Mega Gladiator, if I can look at that real quick, you know, he won the whole set, but I won round 2 2-0, and he won both rounds 0-1 0-1. So basically, I lost no points from that battle, which is great, because that loss didn't really negatively affect me. You know, I didn't get a win I got one win, but I didn't get like a full set win. So either way, I like how this season's going. I'm not a big fan of my team, but it's surprisingly working. So I'm just gonna stick with it, I think. The only thing I'm trying to do is switch Dragalge for Goodra. You know, they're both sort of very similar Pokemon. I personally like Goodra a lot better, but you know, some people do prefer Dragalge, so hopefully that goes through. I'm hoping it does. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and hope to see you guys in the next episode. But he goes for Hydro Pump, and I am Assault Vest. However, that does a lot more than I was really expecting it to. So since I still have Trick Room up, I'm gonna go for Explosion, because you know, I'm not gonna be taking anything out here. And